Morning, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday's reading instructions. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's work. I really loved the video of the children singing that song. I really loved watching them perform that, so I hope you enjoyed that. Today we're looking at something completely different. We're looking at an Indigenous author slash poet slash singer, Archie Roach, and I hope you remember him. We looked at one of his songs, Took the Children Away, during our time back at school, relating to the stolen generation and the fact that he is part of the stolen generation. And I was lucky enough to be given his book by Mrs. Monday for my birthday. Thank you so much, Mrs. Monday. It was a fabulous story. I really enjoyed reading it, finding out a little bit more about him as a person. He is considered to be one of the best poets to have come out of Australia, and his poems have been turned into songs. And I have included a quote at the bottom of today's lesson, which I might read to you. He says, "One time, as I started writing what I thought was a poem, having always loved poetry, I looked down at the words." And these are the words. "At 15, I left my home, looking for the people I call my own, but all I found was pain and strife. I realised then that writing in words, poetry and prose, has a rhythm to it. I picked up the guitar and started strumming, and bang, it just came, the melody and the rhythm and everything all at once." That's what Archie said about his poems turning into songs. It took him a long time to become an artist, really. He was in his 20s, nearly 30, before he became, well known. So we're looking at one of his songs. He's got a lot of songs, and a lot of them are really hard to listen to and read as poems because they're really about his struggles being from the stolen generation and how, he spent a lot of his time sort of living on the streets and had trouble with alcohol and drugs and those sorts of things. So I've chosen one which is written about a famous painter, Albert Namatjira, and I'd really like you to, you can watch him singing it if you like, but actually today's purpose is to look at the writing and the poem that has turned into the song. So I have given you the link to watch him sing if you want to see it. Otherwise, you just go to the document that has his words, and I've put them into a grid and I've separated them out into the verses, or the stanzas we call them if they're poems. So for each verse, I'd like you to read the words and then write next to it in the grid what the main idea is that he's trying to get across in that verse or that stanza. So by the end of reading the poem, you will have built up in your own words what you think he was trying to say when he wrote the song or wrote the poem, whichever one came first, I'm not sure. So your job is to read the poem, fill in the grid with the main idea next to each of his stanzas or verses, and then at the end, write a paragraph about the author's purpose, what his message is, give some evidence for it. So a paragraph or two, if you're grade 6, about what his message is in the song or the poem, what he wants people to know. So that's your main task. I haven't given you a warm-up today because I want you to really concentrate on this one as well. And then I'd like you to have a look at Archie Roach's life, see if you can find some information about him, and write a paragraph about what you think is inspirational about Archie Roach, what makes him different, what makes him important, why do people need to know his story. So there's a few things there to do. I hope you enjoy doing it. I really love listening to his songs and the messages that he's got in there for everybody, really, for all Australians. So I've included his quote in your instructions this morning if you'd like to read that again. Don't forget you're reading today at least 20 minutes every day, and if you finish early in this task, then the rest of the time should be taken with reading. So I hope you enjoy learning about Archie Roach. Have a great day, everyone.